At authorsbroadcast.com, we produce and display book video trailers, short 1 or 2 minute videos that help prospective readers learn more about a specific new book. This episode of Authors Showcase is part 2 of authors we encountered at the 2013 Chicago Tribune Printers Row Litfest. Grab a pencil and make a note of some of the interesting books displayed. Now enjoy Authors Showcase.
I'm Lynn Allen Young, and I have just finished a book on sculptor Lorado Taft, who was born in 1860 and died in 1936. The book has a complicated title. I call it The Completed Works and Unfulfilled Plans of Sculptor Lorado Taft. I was a docent with the Architecture Foundation for 12 years, and I came to Chicago in 1991. Just about the time when the Fountain of Time down at the University of Chicago was on its last legs, and they were talking about possibly bulldozing it down or getting enough money to restore it. So I was glad to see that it was restored beautifully, and I was hooked. So I started driving all over the United States trying to find every piece of Lorado Taft sculpture there is out there. And in the process, discovered that there was a need for a biography. So I started hunting for all different kinds of biographical information and came up with some really fun stories. So the treat of this has been just to meet the people who love Lorado Taft and can identify pictures of the different works and are excited about keeping his works alive and in good condition. He was the best known lecturer on American and European sculpture in the world, following his work at the Columbian Exposition. He wrote 2 books on American sculpture, and he was respected for his knowledge and for his artistry. But his timing was bad. Right when he was at his peak, the modern period was coming in sculpture with Henry Moore, Picasso, and people were turning to that kind of work, and they just were ignoring Taft. So he was I don't want to call him a flash in the pan, but he had a very short lifespan of recognition, and that makes it even more exciting when people still recognize his name and respect his work. There are 3 works in Chicago that are especially well known by Taft. One of them is the Fountain of the Great Lakes in the beautiful little park just to the south of the Art Institute. The second of them is a 110-foot long statue fountain called the Fountain of Time that's at the end of the Midway Plaisance, right at the edge of Washington Park. It's amazing, made out of concrete with figures crafted in the shape of a wave and then wrapping around the backside of the fountain as well. The third would be a really creepy grave memorial called Eternal Silence in Graceland Cemetery, that when people go to visit the cemetery, that ends up being one of their favorite pieces. The book's available on Amazon.com and from Barnes & Noble, and it's also available in local bookstores such as the Architecture Shop and Tour Center, Newberry Library, 57th Street Books, and on eBay.
The following books are available at Amazon.com or ask your local bookseller. The Coach House by Florence Osmond. No Less in Blood by D.M. Perrone. Gotta Let It Go by Delia Lawrence. Going Home, Book 1, Alien Encounters Series. Getting Rich and Living Wealthy by Dane Marks. Grow Big, 60-plus ideas for party plan profits. In My Own Words, a do-it-yourself autobiography by Sheila Raptis. No Mystery Anymore, a no-frills guide to mystery shopping. Getting to Dry, How to Help Your Child Overcome Bedwetting by Dr. Max Meisels. Order one of these great books today at Amazon.com or ask your local bookseller.
Hi, my name is Lydia Ponczak, and my book, They came out in May. It's called Who's After Samantha? It's a cozy, fast-paced, humorous mystery which takes place in the southwest suburbs of Chicago. It's a romp with two 50-year-old best friends into dangerous escapades, but funny ones. It basically answers the question, can the interrogation of a stalker and a killer bring romance to a married woman on the wrong side of 50? Available on ebook too. Thank you.
My name is Helen Osterman. I live in Homer Glen, and I'm an author. I've been writing most of my life, and this is my latest book called Maker's Mark. Now, it has nothing to do with the whiskey. A Maker's Mark is a hallmark, and there is a goblet on the cover, as you can see, and at the bottom of this goblet is inscribed a rose, and that is the Maker's Mark of the artisan who crafted the goblet. Now, a young artist finds this goblet in a flea market and puts it in a still life and hangs it in a gallery. And suddenly there's a lot of interest in the painting, but the people that are interested in are a little shady, and they also want the goblet. So it makes her suspicious that the goblet might be valuable. And she finds out that it actually is one of a set of 6 very famous goblets. And she's followed. She goes to the Art Institute of Chicago, and the exciting climax takes you to the steps of the Art Institute between the roaring lions. Okay?
Rage runs red in the small Iowa town of Cedar Falls, where beautiful high school senior Jenny San Giovanni has an ex-boyfriend with a bad temper. Classmate Tad McGreevy possesses a special gift. He sees auras around others that tell him whether they are good or evil. While asleep, Tad suffers vivid and violent nightmares where he relives the crimes of the evildoers. When best buddy Stevie Scranton goes missing, Tad vows to do everything he can to find him. Now he must learn to control his paranormal powers to save the ones he loves. Enlisting the help of a retired policeman and a group of volunteers, this ragtag team of detectives discovers a monstrous evil more sinister than anyone could imagine. Red is for Rage is the second novel in the award-winning Color of Evil series by Connie Corcoran Wilson. William F. Nolan says of Wilson, "She's good, damn good." Red is for Rage by Connie Corcoran Wilson is available online and at your favorite bookseller.
Hi, I'm Mike Matula. I'm the author of Try Not to Burn. It's a horror novel about 3 strangers who have to escape from hell. And it's a tale about redemption, and it's a modern thriller that takes the Dante's Inferno story and, it updates it, and it envisions the afterlife as a prison, basically, and just kind of like the people trying to survive within it and trying to figure out a way to escape. And it's the first book in a 2-part series that The second one I'm currently working on. And it's currently available at Amazon in paperback and Kindle. It's also available on Nook. Also available on the Postmortem Press website. That's
Hospital pharmacist Alex Benedict's work is a perpetual battle against death, and he is also personally haunted by its grim specter. When he happens upon a shocking audio recording that leads him to conclude one of his own colleagues may be involved in the mysterious demise of several patients, the suspect claims he is in the possession of a powerful compound that will shatter the world of medicine. After witnessing its seemingly miraculous effect, Benedict embarks upon a quest to solve the riddle. If he can piece together the trail of clues, Benedict is promised the opportunity to lift death's eternal shroud from his own life. In a frantic life and death chase stretching up and down the East Coast, Benedict must elude the lethal pursuit of the sinister cabal who want the formula for themselves. In the story's stunning climax, Benedict is forced to make an incredible, life-altering choice. David Perry, the national best-selling author of The Cyclops Conspiracy, once again demonstrates his consummate skill as a thrill master with another brilliantly woven, exhilarating, and poignant tale of suspense and intrigue. Perry challenges his readers with a clever, fast-paced plot, offering bombshell twists at every turn. Get your copy of Second Chance today.
Claudia Whitsitt, and this is my book Identity Issues. It's based on a true story about myself actually and one of my students. My husband's passport was stolen, and as a result of that, about 10 years after that, a woman came to speak to me at parent-teacher conferences, and she thought that I was married to her husband. So when all of this happened, I decided right then and there I had to write a book about it. So I had to fictionalize the rest of the story. Of course, I made it much more suspenseful than the actual story, but it was actually the birth of this series. So I'm very grateful to have had that experience with a student. A parent showed up at parent-teacher conferences and had the same last name as I do, and asked me questions, and come to find out her husband had the same first name, middle name, college education, birth date. And then afterwards, she went to the school secretary and showed a picture of her husband to the school secretary to be sure that I was not married to her husband. So evidently he was deceased, but she had never seen his body after the death. So she really didn't believe that he had died. She believed that he was just out marrying other women. So it was a fascinating story at the time, and as I said, led to writing this mystery series.
I told him the weather was good today. We should be out for sure. Are you thinking about
Hi, my name is Jean-Michel Smith, and I'm the author of Autonomy, a new science fiction novel that's just come out. It's a story set about 60 years in the future, and it involves a small group of people who transcend their own humanity, who pass through what's called a technological singularity, where they become more than human, they expand their consciousness and their creativity, and take another step or two in human evolution. But as a result, they find themselves relentlessly hunted by the rest of the world, who feels very threatened by this development, and in fact the authorities consider them to be an existential threat to the current world order and want to root them out completely. So the story explores the conflict between this group, who really just wants to be left alone and explore their transcendence, and the rest of us who feel very threatened by their very existence. As part of the writing the novel, I sought various ways to show how alien these people become as they become so much smarter and so much more creative. And one of the things I came up with was a mathematical system that they adopt. And the reason they adopt this is because they still spend part of their time as physical beings in their physical bodies and constrained by the limits of their physical brains, which aren't compatible with a lot of the enhancements that they've made to themselves. So as a result, they come up with a lot of tricks to better use their minds. And one of the things they do is they make themselves arithmetically more intelligent by adopting a base 60 numerical system that allows them to manipulate much larger numbers with many fewer digits. So a 4-digit sexagesimal number or base 60 number could represent a 7 or 8-digit decimal number. So I don't know if you've ever looked at binary digits and compared them to decimal digits, but binary numbers become ridiculously large very quickly, and our minds just kind of melt down and say, you know what, I just see a bunch of zeros and ones, and I don't know what the hell that means. And yet the 2 decimal digits we see, we have no trouble comprehending. And sexagesimal offers a similar scale up in that you can take very large decimal numbers and represent them with very few base 60 digits, and therefore work with the numbers within the confines of your own mind without having to put pen to paper or sit in front of a computer. And that's where this book, the S-cubed sexagesimal system, comes from. And that also takes then this system and explores how it could be applied to a metric 60 system of measures and then applied to Planck units, which are a set of physical units first proposed by Maxwell Planck, where he sets various physical constants equal to 1. So things like the speed of light. If the speed of light is defined as 1, whatever you call those units, if it's defined as 1, then an equation like E equals mc squared suddenly becomes E equals m, or energy equals mass. And you can have similar relationships with space and time, where space equals time, and you use the same units to define distance as you do periods of time. And a lot of physics concepts become very intuitive and very easy to understand when you do that. So because of this book actually ended up resulting in the S3 sexagesimal system. And it's available on Amazon, it's available at Red Anemone Books, it's available as ebook or as physical books, and you should be able to get it in your local bookstore if you'd like to order it that way as well.
Hi, this is John Borling, Major General Air Force retired. I'm here with my new book, Taps on the Walls, and you're watching Authors Showcase. I'm delighted to be with you.
Millions of dollars are missing. Several partners are dead, and one man is determined to solve the mystery and save his company. But who can he trust? The world of high finance is a jungle where the naive will be eaten alive. The Tipping Point is a story of greed, complicity, fraud, then ultimately resurrection and restoration. From the slopes of a luxury ski resort to corporate boardrooms, the story turns even more deadly in a steamy Caribbean hotel suite, sending everyone involved scrambling for a safe haven. A culture of corporate cannibals has the remaining partners running for their lives, while the SEC and FBI try to piece together the facts of a conspiracy far bigger than anyone could have imagined. Full of action, adventure, romance, and intrigue. Assassination, suicide, and financial ruin are the tipping point.
Keating heard a popping sound over the noise of the radio and instantly felt the car swerve left across the double yellow lines. The Porsche began to fishtail. Black ice caught the car when the left front tire had blown. He fought to keep control, but he had been hitting 70 and was losing the fight. He overcorrected, heading for the guardrail. Jesus, please don't let this happen. With the left tire shredded, he was running on the rim and wasn't able to steer back left away from the precipice. He knew better than to hit the brakes and panicked. He was on the downside of the hill and was picking up speed, or so it seemed. He chanced the brakes a light touch, just to keep the nose straight, but the road made a sharp turn left. He crashed through the rail. His vehicle was airborne. The car was free-falling through a mile of frigid air.
Author Walter Danley draws on his observations as a commercial real estate investor, plus a vivid imagination to craft the characters and environment you will experience in The Tipping Point. Order your copy today at Amazon.com.
An aged widower with an acute awareness of his own mental decline is being moved across country at his daughter's insistence. Instead of flying, he chooses to join his grandson on a 3,000-mile road trip that includes daily readings to an urn of ashes, and for the two travelers becomes a spiritual journey of self-discovery and harsh realities. A must-read roller coaster of emotions, a cathartic tale of spiritual alignment and personal growth. Reading to Jane is an amazing story of loss and grief and the recovery that accompanies it. A fast read that is thought-provoking, funny, heartwarming, and uncannily familiar. The reader becomes part of the family, going along for a physical and symbolic journey with unlikely companions, each with their own tragic past. En route at campgrounds and rest stops, the cross-country travelers meet several colorful characters and eventually befriend a woman who is coping with an unspeakable tragedy that causes her to question her most deeply held beliefs. Her growing anger ultimately forces her to confront the demons of her past. Reading to Jane combines the reality of aging, the brashness of youth, the stigma of societal outcasts, and the turmoil of loss into an intricately woven three-part adventure. Will Mary be consumed by her rage, or will she find a way out of the darkness? Mary and her unlikely companions come together in an unforgettable conclusion that contains all the surprises, humor, and warmth that author Carol Marshall is known for. You can read this novel simply for the pleasure of its wonderful story and unique collection of bizarre yet relatable characters. But each of the characters in Reading to Jane has something to teach us. This book is a journey to a meaningful existence and can point you in the direction of a more joyful and harmonious way to live. You won't want to miss Reading to Jane, available at Amazon.com.
You're watching Author Showcase.
Understanding Other People, the 5 Secrets to Human Behavior. How to stop being frustrated by the actions of others and start taking charge of your own life and reactions. In many relationships, people give away their power several times each day because they don't understand the secrets to why other people do what they do. In this book, you'll learn how to deal effectively with difficult people, how to excel in personal and business communications, how to understand what people are really saying, and how to recognize how you can get hooked by others. Then you'll learn how to unhook. In a fast-paced and competitive world, where effective communication is essential to success, this book stands out as an easy-to-read, practical resource for helping you become someone who truly understands people. Order your copy today.
A Monk in the World, Fully Being Your Spiritual Self in Life is a book that I wrote that comes out of my experience of working with thousands of people one-to-one and in workshops and retreats, nationally and internationally. Basically what I've done is I've applied my teachings and what I've learned in such a way that you can bring more spiritual awareness into your day-to-day life through the processes and examples that I use in the book. Many people read the book before they book a session with me, and they sort of understand the context of my work. One chapter is called Transforming Fear into Creativity. Another one is, what is true personal power? And people are able to get an essence of what my work is. And then as you work with me, you can read the book and do the exercises, and that will also enhance our work together. A Monk in the World is available on Amazon.com and also as an ebook.
In today's fast-paced business environment, people want to know as quickly as possible what your website is about and how you can help them solve their problems. A fast show and tell will keep visitors on your site longer and help them better understand your product or service. What keeps many small and mid-sized companies from including video is fear of production. You may not be sure what to say. Do I need to be on camera? Do we need to hire a production company? Well, the answer is not necessarily. There are unlimited ways to tell a story. Reno Lovison Marketing specializes in non-video video production. We use voiceover, music, photos, motion graphics, and screenshots to give your web visitors a quick tour of your site. Our goal is to take about a minute to assure your visitors that they're in the right place. Let them know what you do and give them some quick hints on how to navigate your site so they can easily find the information they seek. No need to have a talking head. No need for a full day of on-site video production. Just a simple phone conference and review of your website is usually all we need. Don't put it off any longer. Email us today and we'll show you how to get started with a quick, economical video that will help convert visitors into customers.
About 250 miles north of Chicago, Door County is Wisconsin's premier vacation destination, offering visitors of all ages outdoor fun combined with great food, performing arts, shopping, and of course, natural beauty. DoorCountyNavigator.com will help you find the perfect place to stay, play, and dine, providing all the resources you'll need to plan your trip. Be in the know before you go. To learn more about Door County, tune into A Peek Inside the Door, seen weekly on Chicago Cable, Channel 25.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ray Bovin.
I'm Dr. Edgardo Vargas.
We are both chiropractic physicians. We opened this practice hoping to bring natural health care and improved health to our community. We met each other in chiropractic school back in 2003 and decided to open a practice together in 2009 and have been working to help our community through natural health care ever since.
We understand pain. We've been dealing with pain for many years. If you suffer from neck pain, back pain, headaches, or any other type of pain, please contact us for a free consultation.
The best thing about our practice is that we have an integrated care model. We have medical doctors, chiropractic physicians, massage therapists, acupuncturists, and we use an integrated approach to bring you the most comprehensive health care that you can in the most natural way possible.
Anybody can come in for a free consultation to find out if any of our services that we provide in our office can serve them to get better.
We focus on making sure that every patient gets a holistic view and approach to their plan for their health care, as well as learning how to live a lifestyle that prevents illness instead of just treating people when you're already sick.
And in that way, we can help the person not only feel better physically, but also internally, biochemically, and also emotionally. When somebody new come for a consultation, and we have different ways to evaluate the patient. We start with a complete consultation with our case manager, and then we're able to help that person. We start the evaluation process.
We do this by taking exam results from the medical practitioner, the chiropractor, the acupuncturist. We all sit down in a group, talk about what we see and what we think would help the patient the most. We then work together to come up with a comprehensive plan that will address all of your health concerns. We're located in the Lincoln Square neighborhood, 4750 North Rockwell Street, right near the corner of Lawrence and Rockwell, and about 2 blocks north of the Rockwell Brown Line station.
Hi Shelly, this is Maria calling to remind you about your appointment for Monday at 2:15.
I don't really have a favorite character or costume, but the classic witch costume always works out great for a Halloween party. You can be a good witch, bad witch, beautiful, ugly, or a sexy witch. So check out fantasycostumes.com to find out which witch you would like to be.
Hi, my name is Jordan, and my favorite fantasy costume to dress up as is Captain America. Because 1, he's big, he's buff. 2, he's all-American. 3, who else is going to save our world from crazy aliens that want to, take us alive and, do crazy things to us? So that's all I'm saying. I want to be that Captain America and save the day.